When you're running a business, sometimes having a static location isn't what you need. And for this client right here, we're setting up a mobile van so they can then connect back to their office and have access to everything that they would generally if they're in an office themselves. So we're going to be setting up a UMR Industrial. We have a printer, a laptop and a camera inside this unit, and it's going to be connecting back to the UDM Pro at the headquarter office. This is the box of the Mobile Router Industrial, so let's take a look. So what comes within it? So we have the mobile router itself, and we'll look at that in just a second. We have this at the bottom right here, which goes through, which is once you've fed your Ethernet cables through. This is all rubber at the bottom here, so you can feed them through whereas and when you need to keep it a little bit more protected in the elements. In terms of mounting options, I believe we have a DIN rail, which goes on the back just here. And we also have a pole mount as well, which goes on the back, which can also, I believe, use as a wall mount too. And then as we've seen in all the devices, we have a level that comes with it as well, just making sure your installation is level. We have a Jubilee clip. We have some caps in case you decide to take off any of the aerials on here. And we have a SIM ejection tool. And I don't know if you can see that, and I will take it out shortly, but that has a really nice Ubiquiti logo on it as well. So I'm seeing a lot more items come stamped with the Ubiquiti logo, so always a nice touch to have something like this. And then finally we have a 5-volt DC power to get it powered if you need to, and that's via USB-C. This is the mobile industrial router, and let's take a physical look at it. So we have some LTE 4G antennas at the top, and we have a GPS one in the middle, and we can see that written just below each antenna itself. We have a status light, we have a detachable unit at the bottom so we can pop that out, and this is weather sealed as well. And at the bottom is where all the magic happens. So we have 2 Wi-Fi antennas, and these can be taken out. These are RP SMA connectors, so if you want to attach another antenna to it, you can do, and they just screws back on. We have a 4-pin DC power socket, PoE plus in and PoE out, and USB power input. You do get yourself the cable that you need for it, so you can go and use that and plug that in to get it powered via USB. And it comes with a fairly lengthy cable. I think it's probably about 1.5 meters, and we can use the USB just to pop straight into here. Right at the bottom down below there is a nano SIM. You get the ejection tool, and I'm sure I don't need to show you how to install a SIM card, but that's been done already on this. Once you power it up, you'll see the white status light come on here like so, and then we just need to go to the website to get it added in. If you're looking to get them mounted, you have 2 different options. You have a DIN rail mount and you have yourself a pole mount, so depending on how you're getting it connected. And that's about everything that comes inside the box. So this comes in at $199 in the US store, and if you're in the EU store, it will cost you 222 euros. So let me show you what we've done inside. Walking inside the van, you can see we have all the consumables that we have inside here. And just right there in the top corner, you'll see we have a camera installed. And just towards the end, as we're walking in, you'll also see where the UMR and the switch is installed. Getting this sort of stuff mounted is really easy. This is actually some sort of carpet finish, so with wood behind it, so it's a single screw or 2 screws straight in, and we can pop the UMR straight on, like so. And then there's a little screw we have to secure it, which we can pop in here. And there we go, that's not going anywhere now. Before we tidy up all the cables, we're going to make sure everything's going to do what it's supposed to do and make sure it's talking back to the office, and we can see the camera as well. One of the final pieces of the puzzle is to get the camera mounted, so we'll get everything mounted first before we start cabling it all in. We'll make sure we push the cable through to the other side, which has gone through, and then we can screw the camera in. We won't get it in the right position just yet until everything is up and working. Now comes the fun part of getting it all connected. So we need to go from the UMR Industrial to the little mini switch. From the mini switch, we'll go into a PoE injector, and then from the PoE injector, we'll go to the camera. And then we're going to have another couple of Ethernet cables running down. We have a printer getting set up and a laptop just to make sure it all can connect and talk to where it needs to. In terms of the other side, I'm not sure if you can see this on camera, but this is where the pigtail is coming out just here. And we're going to go across behind me, round the back of the wall, and come back this way to get it all set up. So we've got the cables in place just here, and we're filling one cable all the way around to this side, and we're getting it terminated. So just showing you on this side, we can pop the water seal on here. So we want to make sure we have this part here, and then this can go straight in. So we'll connect this part up first. Let's get that part in. We'll get this capped on completely like this. We can push the water seal this side, and then we just need to tighten this up and then let the seal tighten up. And then that's it. That cable is done. So we can now tidy up this cable a little bit and pop this back in here and just get this tacked up just here. So There you go. That's saying we just need one more cable clip here, and that's the camera installed. So then we can go across the computer and get everything tested and make sure it's all working as it should be. This isn't a standard way that you would set up your devices. You don't go to unifi.ui.com. This is slightly different for the mobile router. So you go to mobility.ui.com and it brings you to this page like so once you've set up your own cloud area. What you do is you click the plus in the top right hand corner and then it tells you which device you're setting up. There's a code right on the back at the bottom, and you can go and pop that in to get that set up. And once you've typed that in, that then validates and it says you're ready to go. It shows you your MAC address and then you can visit in your mobile routing. So currently it's showing us it as offline, but it's getting adopted and getting powered up. We'll give it a few moments and then we'll come back and take a look at how we get it set up to our site. So that's set up. It took about 5 to 7 minutes, but it's all there and ready. You've got an IP address. It's showing you your connectivity. It's showing you usage and everything else that you need to know on there. The main thing we're going to be concerned with, we're not too concerned about the insights at this point, is going to be the settings. So we have the UMR Industrial, so you can give it a name if you want. You can choose how you want this to work. Do you want it to be a mobile router? Do you want it to be an LTE pass-through? Do you want it to be an Ethernet bridge? You have 3 different options that you can set this up with. We have the cellular usage that you can choose monthly. So if you are on a specific data limit and you want to make your bandwidth limited, then you can do that just here. We have the Wi-Fi function. So if you disable this, you'll have to use and get it set up locally. We can give it a Wi-Fi name and then we can give it a password as well. So we'll use WPA2, WPA3 encryption just in case some of the devices in here aren't happy with WPA3. It can then use WPA2. We have the transmit power of the radio. It says cellular, Ethernet and Wi-Fi. And then we have the host address. So anything that connects to this network, so this is the host address that we're connected to at this point. We're going to set up a DHCP server. I'm going to start this from about .50 because I don't think we'll have that many if there's a domain name you want to assign. And then we have some other options down here. We'll come back to VPN Connect in just a moment. We have port forwarding, firewall rules, routing, if you want to enable PoE pass-through, and we have location reports too. So it can show you on the map with this button on the left-hand side just here exactly where the device currently is. So this is an ideal use case for what we're going to be doing because it is a mobile van. It's going to be on the go. We can definitely keep an eye on it with that GPS signal. So there's 3 different options that you see fairly similar to UniFi Protect. We have Alarm Manager, which there's very little inside there. There's just email notifications. There's no push. We have a system log, which is not as comprehensive, but there is, again, a few bits of detail in there. And then we go to the settings. So we have the routing options. So if you want to create any static routes, we have some security options. So for port forwarding and firewall rules, if that's what you want. Now, this isn't a free service, unfortunately. This is a paid for service. And you can see right here, there's a 30-day trial included. And then it's €2 per month or €19 per year or £19, depending on where you are. So it's not a massive cost, but it is something you need to keep in mind when you're setting this up. If you don't have a subscription to this, you will only be able to manage it locally from the local network itself. We click on General and then we have Update Automatically, hide the Wi-Fi name if you want, UMR exclusions. If you want to exclude the global settings from a specific device, you can. And then the last one, the most important one, is the VPN. Let me quickly take you through this diagram of the setup. And on the left-hand side, you'll see where the van is set up. That's just an image that I've taken. It's a very quick diagram I've put together. And then on the right-hand side, we have the main HQ and how that's set up. So we have our UniFi gateway with our public IP set on there, and we have external VPN users coming in, and then we have a site-to-site connection between the van and the main HQ. So the main aim is for anybody connecting within the van or any cameras or whatever there is within there, you're able to connect via the UMR Industrial using the site-to-site link to access any services that are set up on the main site itself. So we have a VPN client that you can go from WireGuard or OpenVPN if that's what you want to set up or how you want to set it up, or we can go site to site. Now, the really clever thing with this, I like it, they've made it really easy and simple. You can give it a name. So we'll just go van to HQ because that's where it's going. And you can choose the device. We have the UMR Industrial that we're choosing because it's the only one we have. Now you can set this up all manually if you want, network configuration and everything, or you literally tick UniFi Gateway and select the gateway that you want. Select it, you can give it a DNS server if you want, choose the remote networks. Once you've selected the remote networks, you can add them in and click Save. And then it's really clever from here. So what it goes off and does, it creates the VPN automatically in the background for you at your HQ site. You can see as I was talking just there, the site-to-site VPN from VAN to HQ is already saved. This is the UDM SE on the HQ side, so the headquarters. We can click on here and we can see it's set it all up. The UMR Industrial is the client, that's the IP interface. We have all this information down here. And if we go back to the mobile router, you can see VAN to HQ, WireGuard, one device in use, and it's all connected. So that tells me now anything I plug into this, I should be able to get to my corporate network. Now comes the second part of it is, well, how do I get it all set up? Because I have multiple devices that I want to set up and there's only one Ethernet port on the back of here. Well, how am I going to get it done? Now, I have one of these flex switches, which makes it a little bit easier. So I can go from the UMR Industrial straight to the flex switch in here. And then I can use anything in here to connect to the network. And it will get one of those 192.168 addresses that we have set up on the UMR itself. So we go from the UMR, we go on the out port, and then we can plug in straight into the import. Now, I am using a USB cable because I don't have any PoE out on here. And then we can go and plug in what we need. So we can plug in our devices, we can plug in a printer, we can plug in a computer, but I also want to add in a security camera. And I have a G5 Turret Ultra here, and I'm just about to show you how to get this adopted remotely, even if you are setting this up somewhere else. So the cables are going to get a bit messy here. I have a PoE injector, which is just here. So this is going to power my camera. We can go from the PoE Plus port, which is this one, and then we're going to go into this camera right here. What I'm going to do on the HQ side is I'm going to go to UniFi Protect, and I don't have any cameras set up at this moment, and you can see there's no devices detected. And just to show you the UMR, I'm going to show you the network range again. So 192.168.105.50 to 254. Keep that in mind. This is powering up as well. We can see the status light on there, so it is getting some power. And also, just while we're waiting, I'm going to go and plug in my local PC that I have here as well that I'm working off right here. So this is going to give us network directly to this. And if I bring up the command prompt, so this is all running off an LTE connection or 4G connection at the moment. And if I type in ipconfig, you can see 192.168.105.88. Just to show you the default network 10.254.254.0. I can go across to my machine right here, and if I type in, it's not going to know where to go because it doesn't know where to send the traffic. But if I go back to the site-to-site VPN again, I can add in 10.254.254.0/24, click add. We're going to apply that change, and then if I go back to here and we re-ping again, and you can see right there, it has responded once the route had been implemented. So that definitely shows you that the site-to-site connectivity is there. Going back to UniFi Protect on the HQ side, you can see the G5 Turret Ultra has appeared, and you can see the IP address, and you can see we can just click adopt, and we'll give that a few moments and come back once it's adopted. And there we go, just like that. A few moments later, UniFi Protect has adopted the camera. It's sat right here. And if we just click play just here, you can see that's me sat right here. That's been adopted, and that's part of the HQ setup. So this is now recording to UniFi Protect at my headquarters, but it's connected via this. There's a couple of things you need to note when you're getting it set up like this. When you click on it and you go to recording settings, you cannot do continuous recording because you're going across an LTE connection. I'm not the main person, so I'm not able to, I need to contact the console owner to enable AI events. And then we have all the relevant information that we generally would have. So privacy blackouts and motion zones, and then we have the settings as well. So same again, we have the microphone settings, we have a tag, share lives, or RTSP. Finally, just going back to the mobile router, just so I can show you. So we have the 4G LTE up here. We don't have anything connected via Wi-Fi at the moment, but if I go to settings and I go to the Wi-Fi, you can see the Wi-Fi name VAN. It is there, so we can go and connect to that if we want to. And if I just go to here and type in details, you can see the IP address that I've got again, 192.168.105.188. And I am now connected via Wi-Fi. Not sure how long that will take to reflect on the actual system itself. It might just take a few moments and then it will appear. If I go to the clients, you can see we have the flex switch, we have G5 Turret Ultra, we have the desktop that I'm plugged into, and then we have my iPhone, which is connected via Wi-Fi. You can see that right there, that's set to excellent. So if we go back to the front, and that's set to excellent. And that pretty much covers this video. I've not done too many on-site videos before, so let me know if you want to see more like this, and if I am able to do so, we can record videos and go through some of the scenarios that we get set up. If you have any questions about the setup that we have, let me know down in the comments below. The links to the products are there as well. For now, this is Inside Wire, and I'll see you in the next one.